not in the legal sense.
So we have, 22 runners towing the line here. Seat times range from 14:57 to 15:28. Average being around the 5:19.
We're out clean here, too, so that's good. So far, so good. No falls. There's Maddie Alm in the back of the pack there. Joe Bosshard, coached athlete. And we've got Sage Herta pacing the group up front. And right on the back of Sage Herta, that's Allie Buhalski, the Beast, who ran 14:57 at the Sound Running Invite here last year. So she did that hanging onto the coattails of Emily Sisson and Wayne Colati, who were charging into the darkness that night.
So Bukowski, the only sub-15 exponent in this race. However, this pace is being set by Serge Herter at 72 per lap, right at 15-minute pace. Surely we'll see a couple more people crack that 15-minute barrier tonight.
I think that's on a lot of these women's minds to jump under 15 here, and they've got a lot of help here and people that can get them under. We've got Whitney Orton and Morgan too in that third position, and then Natalia Hawthorne there behind her. So Natalia Hawthorne had a fantastic year in 2021, knocking both of her PRs in the 15 and 5K way down. I think she took like 40 seconds off of her 5K PR.
Yeah, 15:05 last year for Hawthorne. So Rogers has ran 15:04. Hanna Klein is in here. She's ran 15:01. So we have, I think, 5 runners that have broken 15:10. This is set up to be really a really fast race. The weather is amazing right now. The temperature's dropped to 64. We got a 3-mile-an-hour wind. It really doesn't get much better than this.
Emily Lipari there too, tucked in behind Natalia Hawthorne, and she ran the 10,000-meter world standard recently at the 10, running 31:24, just getting under.
And then Lipari, fresh off her mile win.
That's right.
In Des Moines at the U.S. Road Mile Championships.
So
now,
she's coming right in the middle.
Is she the new Road Mile queen, taking over the mantle from Heather Kempf?
Yeah, let's give it to her. Because we're the ones who decide, right, Dave?
Absolutely. All right, so we'll get you an unofficial split at 800 meters. Sage was asked to run 72 per lap, so we want 224.
It looks like the first lap was around 71 pace.
71.6, and we are Sage doing a fantastic job. Right around 223 high.
223, and you can see Taryn Rawlings in the back there too. Golden Coast track athlete, a teammate of Emily Lipari's, and she hasn't run a 5K since college. She's normally a 1,500 athlete. So
running a third, that's Elly Henes, former standout at NC State, now running professionally for Adidas.
I think that is Whitney Orton Morgan, and then Emily Hennis.
Oh, you're right. You're sorry, Jeff.
Is a little further back.
Yep.
Right next to Taryn Rawlings and behind Natosha Rogers. Natosha Rogers there in the yellow singlet.
So we right at 3 flat for the first kilometer. So that's 71.86. Not too shabby.
Yeah, that's great work from Sage.
So Sage Herter, fresh off her sub-2, 800 meters.
And 4:05 this evening. 4:05 PR in the 1,500. So call this or at least a PR lap for her. But Allie Buhalski still up there, 14:57. And we spoke to her after that 14:57 last year. And about, I would say, 9 months before that, she ran in one of the final meets of what we called the Big Friendly Series in Oregon. And she wasn't in shape. I think she ran 15:58 for the 5K there. And she said that day, I'm going to run a minute faster next year. And she went out and ran 14:57 at her first 5K of 2021.
Just looking down the field here, we've got 22 runners in this race. Of those 22, 18 have ran their personal best for 5,000 meters in California.
It's the Sunshine State.
The 5K PR state.
Florida's the Sunshine State. It's the Golden State, baby.
So still Sage Herter doing a fine job pacing. Bohalski is in second.
Looks like Sage is pulling wide a little bit as we approach the 1,600-meter mark.
So get this. Sage was asked to run 72s. There are 3 completed laps so far. 71.6, 71.86, 71.75.
And she takes them through in 4:48 as Natalia Hawthorne weaves through the pack and jumps to the front, gets to the lead. There's some jockeying for position here. I think people know that they sense that the front is the place to be, trying to get out of trouble as the back of the pack seems to be bunching a little bit. And we're going to send it down to Andy for an interview, too, but we're going to keep an eye on this race.
All right, we are here with Lex Young. He's the big bad young in town. It seemed like only yesterday we were talking about your brother, and now you've kind of risen to the occasion and dropped a pretty massive PR in this 5K. You know, one of the top in the high school in the nation right now. What was that the plan? Was that kind of expected? Were you just out there to see what happened? Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, the plan going into it was just like most races for me, just want to go out there and put everything I got on the track. You know, I want to give it my 100% effort, and then whatever the result is, I guess is the result. But it turned out to be a pretty nice one, so I was really happy with that.
Heck yeah, it just seems like all you Newberry guys are having a season to remember. Would you guys talk about this in the locker room? Is this like a part of the team plan, or are you guys just having fun with it?
I think we're just having fun with it. We all know that we're going to train hard. We're going to work hard every day, day in and day out. That way, when it comes to race day, we know that we've already put in the work, and it's just about enjoying it.
There you go. Can you give us a little hint on what's up next?
I think moving forward, it's I might be racing a 1500 in New York, and then maybe Music City Distance Festival. But nothing's set in stone completely, but it's looking like it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, you guys look like having a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, this is my man Andy here. He's got a question he's dying to ask you. Andy, what'd you like to ask Lex?
Are you going to try and race at U.S. Nationals?
No, sadly, I won't. My season will have ended before that, so I won't be able to go.
That's quite all right, though. I think Lex has a lot more fun to have had out there. And, hey, man, congratulations. You're having a season to remember. Wish you all the best going forward.
Yeah. I'm so, I feel like queasy now.
You good?
I don't think so.
All right, thanks, Andy and team. And they're starting to step on it a little bit here. So Natalia Hawthorne at the front. Whitney Orton Morgan moving past Allie Buchowski.
And then following that international flavor, we've got a couple of other foreigners moving into the mix. Hanna Klein from Germany, fresh off a 4:07 at Peyton Jordan last week. And she has a personal best of 5K at 15:01.99. And then also in the mix in that lead pack is Natalia Rule, the Australian. She was third at the Australian Championships last month in 15:10.
And here the pack is bunching up a little bit as Allie Buchowski goes to the front. So the pace is moved to 74s for the last two laps.
Yeah, they're about 7:36 at 2,500 meters. So it's 15:12 pace.
So I think everybody here would like to see it a little faster as they're bunching, but nobody has really taken the reins and willing to do the work at this point to make it happen. We'll see if Allie Buchowski is going to drop it a little bit.
Yeah, so after three successive 71s led by Sage Herder, we've now had three successive 74s.
And Ellie Hennis is moving up there onto Buchowski's shoulder. You can see Natosha Rogers there, too. She's not one to shy away from work. Indoors in Chicago this year at the Windy City Invite, she ran 15:20 solo, doing all of the work by herself. Everybody goes out to be you, jump on the pace train. She says, no, you be you. I'm going to do me and stay here and race.
And now that's Hennis moving up into second place.
Yeah, so there's Hennis.
So they were 9:06.5 or so at 3,000 meters. So right around 15:10 pace.
Okay. So that was a 60 or a 73.8 for that lap. So Buchowski notching it down slightly. But Hennis needs to decide here if she's happy with that or if she wants to push a little bit herself.
Yeah, hopefully somebody else will take the initiative here and keep this tempo rolling. Also tucked on the inside there, she's been on the rail the whole time, hasn't run a step further than necessary, is Emily Lipari running in about 6th or 7th.
I would say to look for Sarah Lancaster, number 11 there in the teal-looking singlet behind Natosha Rogers. Last year, I believe it was her 5K debut on the track, and she ran 15:13, and she was a basketball player at University of Texas, and she ran 4:05 in the 1500 as well. So she's got a lot of talent, and look at this. There's a little pushing and shoving as we go like 5 wide in the front here, and Natalia Hawthorne gets shoved to the front. So everybody wants this pace to go faster, but nobody wants to take it.
Another interesting note about Sarah Lancaster, running is not even her second sport. Tennis is her second sport. I believe she also played tennis intercollegiately for UT, as well as basketball.
What's her next?
There's not much she can't do. and I think she's an attorney also?
Yeah, I think so. I got all this information from Ryan Fenton last year. He sent me a text and it told me her life story. So shout out to him. Yeah, so Natalia Hawthorne gets pushed to the front by the pack because the pack wants this race to go faster. It reminds me of that old Joe Louis quote, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
You can see that pack is, that last lap is a 75.3, and you see that pack is concertinaed again. So when they come around the finish line this time, they'll have 3 laps remaining, 1,200 meters of this 5K race.
Hawthorne out front went to the Olympics last year in the 1500. She ran 4:04.20, hit the Olympic standard right on the nose, and was able to make it that way. You could see Natalie Rule there too, right behind Hanna Klein. Klein now goes to the front. Klein, the German athlete, says, I'm not coming all the way out here for this. It's time for me to take this into my own hands. And that was a 72. .72.9 as we pan across the field, and we got a glimpse of Joe Klecker's mustache. We'll see that out here in this next race.
They got another change in leadership now.
That's still Hawthorne up front.
Okay. So Klein off her shoulder, the Olympian at 5,000 meters for Germany. And then on the tucked in the rail, that's Natalia Rule, the Australian.
So here we go. We're swinging up as we come to the line here. Down this straight, there will be 2 laps remaining, 800 meters left. And right now, look at all of these women still in contention here. There are a lot of moves still to be made, a lot of gas left in the tank, as Hanna Klein looks very good right now.
So it's
She looks
Hanna
easy.
Klein, and then that's Maureen Costa, who's moved up into 3rd place wearing the all black.
Costa, a Dutch athlete, I believe.
That's right.
So great to see her in the States.
European Indoor Championship bronze medalist, and she has a PB of 15:07, albeit from 5 years ago at Peyton Jordan.
Okay, so still look at this pack. Bunched up here, swinging wide. Buchowski all the way out. Elly Henes all the way out almost into lane 3. And she's got to find a way in there before the turn. But Hawthorne might be in the best position at this point because they're going to be running flat out pretty soon. So she's got the centro spot there on the rail.
All right, here we go. 500 meters remaining now in this Koros women's 5,000 meters.
Hawthorne still at the front. Coster, Rule, Rogers.
You know who's sneaking up on the outside?
Emily Lipari.
That's right.
There she is. You don't want her there with a lap to go. There it is. There's the bell. Bell right around 14 minutes.
Now Hawthorne, remember, has 4:04 1,500 meter speed, so she can withstand a Lipari kick if it comes down to it.
But she's been swallowed right now, and it looks like it's Coster in the front.
If Costa wins this would be quite a remarkable run. Really not much form coming into this. Her two most recent races, a 71:20 half marathon and a 32:20 road 10K.
Natosha Rogers making a move now. The Hansons Brooks athlete. There she is getting some daylight over Maureen Costa.
Here comes Lipari. She's left it awfully late. She's got a lot to do. She's back in 5th.
There's Rule on the outside. This is all Rogers still. Rogers laying it down. Taryn Rawlings there, moving into 2nd place. This is going to be a huge race for her. Here's Rogers.
Hool, Klein, and Costa, I think, is your top 5.
15:05 for Natosha Rogers, and a great win for her.
15:05.22, just 1 second off her personal best.
She gets the world standard in a very tough tactical race where the pace is surging and slowing. Taryn Rawlings, 15:05.9. Her personal best before this, 15:49.
And it's also a personal best in for Natalia Rule in 3rd place, the Aussie, 15:06.
So world standards all around here.